What's up, guys? Welcome to or welcome back to the Bankroll Builder series. If you're new, this is the first one that you're watching. What we're doing here is we did a minimum deposit on Ignition of $20, and we're playing at 2 cent, 5 cent, $5 buy-in until we get 30 buy-ins for the next level, which is 5 cent, 10 cent with a $10 buy-in. So once we get the bankroll up to $300, and we're going to be moving up to the next level. What we've been doing is just a little bit of hand analysis on the most relevant hands from sessions played. So the hand analysis on this episode is going to be from a 2-hour session that I did today, Friday the 13th, October, and a 4-hour session yesterday, which was Thursday the 12th of October. So 4 hours yesterday, 2 hours today, 6-hour total session. We added $30 to the bankroll, just about, give or take a few dollars. There's one hand that didn't get recorded. Full house versus, it was either flush or straight, and we ended up winning I think like $7 or $8, and I either forgot to record it or accidentally deleted it. So you'll just see it jump in, like I think it's like a $7 $8 jump in the bankroll, and that was from that hand that I forgot to record. And unfortunately I don't really remember the details of it, and so that's just kind of lost. But we'll go over the hands that I did record and do a little bit of analysis for you guys. Alright. Okay, guys, so first relevant hand, we have ace-jack offsuit in the big blind. It limped around, and we 7x'd. Typically we 4x, and we add 1x per limper, so 3 limpers, 7x is 35 cents. The under the gun +2 folds, and we get a caller. And the cutoff. So we flop top pair here. We put in a really small bet, kind of to keep interest and induce bluffs. He shoves, we call. He had ace deuce, and it's a clean run out. We take this one down. Next relevant hand that we have is ace queen on the button. It was another limped pot, and then we 5x'd it, made it 25 cents, and we got 3 callers behind. So we flop top pair here. Someone puts in a minimum bet of 5 cents. We're going to raise it up here. He got a caller behind. And the caller behind decides he wants to shove, so we're going to call it down. If he has an 8, he has an 8, but he does not. And we fade a 10 in the jack, and we take this down. Next relevant hand, we have pocket jacks. I believe we are the pre-flop raisers. We have 3 players behind us that all call the pre-flop raise on this board. I think it's pretty safe to say one of them might have a queen. So I just put in a really large bet here. I'm kind of just targeting anyone that has a queen in their hand. Out of the 3 players, it's pretty likely that one of them would, or a hand like 10 king, or even if they have a jack with me, which is less likely, but really targeting queens. So once I get that call, I'm pretty happy, pretty confident he has a queen, maybe a weak queen. So we're gonna just continue piling money in here, kind of set him up for the river, but he folds on the turn bet, and we just take that pot down. This table breaks and we switch. Here we pick up ace king, we 4x, and this guy put in a min raise. He's been acting really weird and just kind of putting all his money in randomly, so we're just going to go after him here. He calls with 6-4 offsuit, so that's pretty strange. It's a good run out for us, and we take it down. Next hand we have ace 10. It was a limped pot, we're on the button. So we put a little bit of a squeeze play here. We made it 7x, 35 cents. Try to take down all the limpers. This guy goes all in for not much more, and since we just got the callers behind, once we put in the squeeze, we don't think they're too strong. So we're gonna go for a squeeze play here and try to isolate 6. So we decided we're gonna put in a substantial raise here. We make it 250 to go, and the small blind pretty much snaps. And then this other guy that had a good stack over here, he decides to fold. So we go 3 ways all in to the flop. And we had these guys dominated pre-flop, but that's about it. We lose to both hands, so it wouldn't have even mattered. 4-7 of diamonds and ace-6 of spades. Next relevant hand, we have pocket 7s. We pre-flop raise 4x. We like to put in small bets. Like when we're heads up, whether we hit the flop or not, we pretty much put in small C bets to kind of polarize our range after people have been playing with us for a while. It allows us to get to our draws really cheap and confuse players when we actually have good hands. So we decide to check when the board pairs, and he bets into us. So we check back, and we go into check call mode here, and he just had ace 7 of diamonds, so we take that one down as well. Here we have 5-9 of spades. Under the gun +1 had raised to 10 cents, so I called that, and we got raised right next to us to 40 cents. Went back around, he called, so then I was kind of priced in for a call. Here we flop bottom pair. He puts in a micro bet, just 5 cent minimum bet. This is really a bad spot for me because obviously I want to just call. That really exposes my strength, but I really can't put in a raise there with this guy behind me. But he just calls behind, so that's a pretty good sign for me. Another diamond comes out. It's getting kind of draw heavy. I'm pretty sure that I have the best hand. Well, I have a pretty decent hand. I'm a lot more comfortable with my hand after the 5 cent flop bet and just call. So I'm going to check here. Not much got there. I mean, obviously diamonds did get there, but if he did have diamonds, I would see him trying to extract value here, and that's a pretty large bet when he knows we're both pretty weak with those small bets. So it's a little fishy to me, so that's why I call, because if he did have a value hand, I don't see him betting that much. Board pairs, so any type of showdown here I think would just check back. He goes all in. I believe he goes all in, and that just makes me just want to snap because there's really not a lot that he could be value betting, and he was indeed bluffing. Unfortunately, he was bluffing with a better hand than us. He thought he was bluffing, but he got value from us, so that was annoying. So here we have a middle position raises about 4x. We pick up pocket jacks in the small blind. These are the virtual small blind, right, because player 9 is a new player. So we are in the small blind, even though it doesn't look that way. So we flop a set, pretty good flop. We check it to the pre-flop raiser who is sitting in seat 6, but we get a 15 cent bet before it gets to him. He calls, and we're just going to put in a raise here. Pretty draw heavy board, 9-10, 10-jack, hearts. If anyone has a queen, there's just a lot that we could get called from here, so we're just trying to build up the pot. Unfortunately, they both fold, and we take that one down as well. Next relevant hand, we have pocket queens. We're under the gun +1. Under the gun had limped, so we made it 5x. We get re-raised to 55 cents. This is pretty strong from his position. I don't want to come over the top and be up against a better pair, so we'll just call and see a flop with him. Luckily, we flop top set. Really good flop for us. So if he has ace-king and he decides to bet here, we're just going to flat. We want to keep him interested and keep his bluffs in if he has any. So we'll just flat, no problem. If he has ace-king, he might be continuing. If he has kings or aces, obviously he's continuing, which is what the case was, and we just take it down. Oh, yeah, this was a little strange. So after we make the call from his all-in, the website froze for a few seconds. Made me a little nervous because I thought it was going to do something funky and disconnect me or something, but it was just frozen for maybe 15 seconds or so, and then it came back online, and the river is a 10, and then we just take it down. Next relevant hand, we're coming into this a little late, so this guy was in position and min raised pre-flop. I checked the flop with bottom pair, or middle pair, sorry, and he bet pot on the flop, so I called. So we're coming in on the turn, he bets pot again. So if he did have a king, I don't see him betting pot, he's looking for value. And if he had an ace, he also wouldn't bet pot when the ace came on the turn for the same reason, and certainly wouldn't do it when the board pairs with aces. So with him doing this style of betting, I just don't buy it and I call. So we were good with the pocket fives. We were good with the fives, and we take it down. So I believe that's the end of the 4-hour session yesterday, and now we're going to get into the 2-hour session from today. First relevant hand, we have 5-7 of spades, and we're just going to show you how to misplay a hand here and get really lucky. So we were the pre-flop raisers. We're going to put in a continuation bet on this flop, 1/3 pot. We get 2 callers behind, so now we actually have some equity. We have a flush draw and a gut shot. So we have 12 outs potentially. So we go ahead and now we're betting with a little more confidence. We make it 60 cents. Plenty of good cards for us to come out. Like I said, 12 outs potentially, unless he has, if he has a set, then we only have 10 outs. But regardless, he thinks about it for a little while, and then he decides to raise me, and 3x is my bet. So at this point, I mean, it's $1.20 to win 360 plus implied odds if we hit our hand. So we just call. Probably not a call, but we do call. And the flush comes in, so we're just going to put it in here, and we are good. Next relevant hand, we have 9-6 of diamonds. I believe we call the 4x. I don't think we 4x. I think we call the 4x, and we flop a flush, Ace-10, 4. So pretty good flop for us. We're going to put in a bet here. Try to attract any king of diamonds to come in. Obviously, anyone with an ace in their hand, ace king, ace queen, ace 10, ace 4 are going to be coming along. So we don't mind putting in a pot-sized bet. Also, it looks like a bluff in position. So a lot of people will play back at that if you put in a pot-sized bet in position and you're against a thinking player, because obviously they'll be like, well, if he's trying to get value, he won't be doing something like this, which is always good. And also, you know, any aces, like I just spoke about, ace 10, ace 4, things like that. So we're going to go ahead and just try to get it in with this guy in case he has the king of diamonds. If no diamond comes on the river, we're not going to get any more value. So if he does have the king of diamonds, this is the only street we'll get max value on. He had ace 4, and we take it down. Next relevant hand, we had under the gun +2, 4x, and got 2 callers behind. So it's up to me. We have pocket aces. We're going to be putting in a raise here. I believe we think about it a little bit, trying to figure out raise sizes, looking at people's stack sizes, and we decide to make it $1.20 to go. So fold around. We get pretty fortunate here because 5 decides to put his stack in. So pretty good situation for us. I wouldn't mind maybe one more caller, 1 more, 2 more, but definitely don't want all 4 of these other guys in there too, because we all know what happens then. So we'd be happy to see 1 more shove, and that'd be it. So Seven's just trying to waste our time here. He knows we're making a YouTube video, and he does not like them. So he's being mean. Anyway, so he times out. Original raiser folds. I believe 9 folds as well, and then 1 is pretty committed to this pot already, and he's gonna go ahead and put his stack in there. And we will be going 3 ways to a flop with pocket aces. See what we have to fade. We have to fade a 6 and a queen and a 9, and we fade them all, and we take it down with the aces. Pretty fortunate. Next relevant hand, we have 6-7 of spades, and we are going to make a straight flush here. So pretty cool day for us. Very great flop for us. We flop a gut shot. We have top pair. We have a flush draw. Pretty much just an amazing flop for our hand. So we put in a really small bet to try and induce raises or people to get more committed. So this guy puts in a raise, kind of a min raise, I guess, pretty close to it. Now in retrospect, knowing what hand we make, obviously I like a raise here, but I elect to just call. I didn't want to bloat the pot too much if we missed. If this guy had like an overpair or something, and we don't hit our flush or 4, but we hit both. We hit our 4 and our flush, so we have a straight flush here. Pretty great hand. So this guy had raised us and then called the all-in, so we put him on a pretty strong hand. We're hoping he has an ace of spades, but he just snap folds, and pretty unfortunate. So I'm not sure what 6 had. I guess we could have taken more time to think about bet sizing there, and we just didn't. I thought he was way stronger and would have to be coming along. So here we have under the gun makes it 20 cents, and we pick up ace king of hearts on the button, so we're going to raise it up, make it 75 cents. And player 5 just sat down as well. So pretty good flop for us. We have 2 overs and a nut flush draw. He bets pot here, so we're just going to go ahead and stick it in. Because if he has like jacks or queens, he's going to have to call. If he has kings or aces, that kind of sucks, but we're still alive. So we just go ahead and we put it all in here. Because if we just call him and he has like queens or jacks, and then the king comes on the turn that's not a heart, I don't think we're going to be able to get as much value out of his hand. Whereas like our percentage to win here is just so high against a hand like jacks or queens that we really don't mind getting it in. So we get it in, we actually win, so that's pretty cool. Here we have middle position, raise 3x. We just flat in position, and then the other players here flat as well. So we flop top pair with a jack and a backdoor nut flush draw. So pretty solid. This guy put in a min bet, got called. We're going to raise it up. There's some draws out there that we don't want any cheap cards to be given to these guys. So we raise it up. This guy comes over the top. I don't know. It's kind of weird. We just call. Didn't think about it too much. And now we pick up the nut flush draw to go, as well as a queen for a straight. So this is a great card for us. In case this guy was messing around, we're just going to put $1 in. We're pretty confident we're winning this pot anyway, and he goes all in. So we're happy to call. He had 10-6, so he fades all of our outs and wins. I mean, that's just crazy, because we win with a king, an ace, a jack, whatever other card was on the board, spades, queen. It's just crazy. Alright, so anyway, next relevant hand, we flop an open-ended straight draw. We bet half pot. This guy raises us. We got a backdoor flush draw too, not a great one, but we have one over to the board, and we have straight outs as well. So we're happy to just get it in with this guy. He actually had aces, so he played it pretty strange, and we get super lucky, and we go runner for a straight. And that was it. That was the whole session. So we ended up adding, I think, like $32 or $33 to the bankroll in just 6 hours of session. So pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, guys, so that was 6 hours of session from yesterday and today. We had about $32 or $33 to the bankroll, and we'll post that video up today, Friday the 13th. I'm going to play a little bit more tonight and tomorrow probably, so look for the next video in maybe 2 days or 3 days. I'm just kind of slowing down a little bit with how many hours I'm playing, because it's kind of driving me nuts, to be honest. So we'll put in a couple more hours tonight, tomorrow, maybe the day after, and post another session up for you guys shortly. Alright, thanks for joining us. Have a good weekend.